This Saturday, broadcast live on Dazn, September 23rd, we're going to see a young fighter take a huge step up in boxing. And that's going to be a fighter that many people see who has a tremendous upside, possibly a champion in the making. This will be when Richardson Hitchins takes on Jose Zepeda, headlining a card that is going to feature the likes of Anthony Yard and Jessica McCaskill on the undercard. This should be a very interesting fight, contrasting of styles, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more in this video. Talking about stepping it up. Stepping it up in the sport of boxing nowadays doesn't always mean young hopefuls testing themselves. But this Saturday, we're going to see a young fighter step it up big time. And it very well may be 50-50. But what is it about the young fighter Richardson Hitchins, as he wants to prove his mettle and wares against the likes of a fighter like Jose Zepeda? I'll tell you what it means. In the sport of boxing, it means that this young man is willing to challenge himself. Now, as we look toward this fight, he has no one on his current roster of opponents that come close to what the veteran Jose Zepeda brings. Zepeda, who in his last serious outing in November of 2022 lost by 11th round stoppage to Regis Prograis, who now has the WBC junior welterweight title. But this fight is a test of monumental measures for Hitchins. I've watched him, and in his last fight in February of this year, it was a unanimous decision over John Balza. Hitchins is 25 years of age. He stands 5'10" and has a 74-inch reach. He's an orthodox fighter who has pop on his punches, a little bit stiff, not as fluid as I would like to see him be. But he has come through his fights very well. Now, when you consider what his record is, he's currently 16-0 with 7 KOs. And as he has boxed and shown his boxing skills, he has proven to be able to go the distance. He's not getting a lot of guys out of there. And a fighter like Jose Zepeda is very dangerous because he brings his record of 37-3 to this fight with 28 KOs. And even Regis Prograis said in the aftermath of having faced Zepeda, he said that this man was always dangerous. And he had to be very careful because Zepeda had knockout power. He said he could feel it. And he stayed on his P's and Q's. If people remember, Regis had a tremendous amount of upper body movement when he faced Zepeda. He didn't go wading in as he had been known to do against former challengers, and he considered allowing himself to work behind his jab and look for openings. Now, this is where it gets interesting for Hitchins. You heard me say a moment ago about he being a little bit stiff. He's not really fluid on his feet. He has a decent jab. He's young. His age may play a tremendous factor more than anything. Zepeda is 34 years old, but he's gotten guys out of there. And that's less wear and tear. Now, when he fought the likes of Ivan Baranchyk, it was one of those knockdown dragouts where there were like 8 times someone hit the canvas in that fight. 9 if the ref had not missed a count. But that was back in October of 2020. Since then, Zepeda has faced the likes of Henry Lundy, Josue Vargas, Francisco Javier Perez, Regis Prograis, and Niraj Goyat. Going back to 2020 himself, Hitchins has faced Nicholas Delomba, Argenis Mendez, Malik Hawkins, Angel Saranar Rodriguez, Yomar Al-Alamo, and John Bauza. No one on his resume speaks Zepeda. This could be one of those fights that Dazn puts on with one of their young chargers, and an upset could be in the making. Am I looking and dismissing what Hitchins brings? Absolutely not, because his youth, vigor, strength are advantages with his age, but the experience is not there. Even if he had good amateur background, it's not going to prepare him for a highly motivated Jose Zepeda, who can use this victory as a launching pad right back into title contention. It's interesting how they match people up over here, and on Dazn, upsets happen all the time. And I'm wondering, what is it about them that they see in Zepeda? If there's something behind the scenes that we haven't heard of, meaning like he has been not training well or whatever, and they caught him on a short notice. Hey, what can you say about that? This fight will be contested for the IBF North American Super Lightweight title, the WBC Silver Super Light title, which is vacant, and the WBO NABO Super Light titles that are both vacant. Again, if Zepeda is ready, meaning that he just wasn't sitting around, because he last fought in March. He had a unanimous decision victory over Niraj Goyat. It's going to be interesting, people. is something to pay attention to. But Ed Hearn has often put fighters in these type of circumstances, and upsets have taken place. I am looking at this as 50-50, simply on the merits of what Zepeda brings to the ring. He is not going to quit. He is not just going to lay down unless he's not well prepared. I would have to think that in better judgment, he's prepared. But sometimes you just don't know. He might be just looking for another payday and check out. Or he may be looking for the come up and come back. I think this is going to be a very interesting fight, and I wouldn't sleep on this one. It's the main event, and as I said, Jessica McCaskill is on the undercard, also Anthony Yard. But it's a big fight weekend, and this might be worth tuning in to check out. Hitchins, doesn't have fluid lateral movement. He's a lot stiffer on his feet, not as mobile as a Regis Prograis. And Zepeda was able to tag Prograis a few times. He tired out in the later rounds. If he can catch Hitchins in counters, it would be interesting. Remember, he's a southpaw. How much experience does Hitchins have against southpaws? And then when you talk about him being a southpaw, he's a knockout punching southpaw. His stoppages are for real. They're not padded. He can get you out of there. Single shots and also shots put together. And Hitchins doesn't seem to have the same type of knockout power on his side. So if Zepeda can get through the early points of the young man's strength and start taking him into the later portions of the round with good body work, you may be looking at an upset. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what your thoughts are about this fight. Another good one for 2023. Tune in and let's find out. Does Hitchins have the goods or not? Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.